Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Share my humble obeisances, all glories to Prabhupada. You want to start chant the prayers?
Yeah. Yes, Prabhu. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sakrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinobandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Chanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisavanu Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvya eva cha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone for joining the session. Hare Krishna, His Grace Sundar Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. Thanks for joining in for this week's session. I think we are 18 of us at this point. I think expecting more to join. But we can start the session with any questions or any doubts that you may have. You can unmute. The usual drill: you unmute yourself, or you can chat in the session, in the chat session, and then we can pick it up from there. The YouTube session is also live, so viewers from YouTube sessions, they may directly join onto this session. The the Zoom link is there in the chat, so they can use that and join this in directly. So without much ado, I would like to give the mic to His Grace Sundar Prabhuji to take the session forward and address all the devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, accept my humble obeisances. It's very nice to be again in the midst of all your very nice devotees. Thank you very much for coming on board. So we'd like you to raise any questions, or you have any topics that we can all discuss. That'll be very nice. So anybody have anything or anything to talk about?
Hare Krishna, please feel free to post your doubts or any topics that you would like to go over with Prabhu. Yes, Rahul. Prabhuji, please go ahead.
Um, uh, Thank you. Dandavat Pranam, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. My question is regarding chanting of the holy names. I have heard previously devotees talk, extol a lot of glories about chanting. It's Nam Chintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. It's like Chintamani, all your desires can be fulfilled. And I have even heard that we can be easily liberated by chanting of the holy names. Only Krishna Prema is a bit difficult. We have to be very pure and chant without offenses. But in my experience, I have, to be honest, I have experienced some bliss, some lot of focus of mind, meditation, like as I would expect in any meditation. So I have experienced some benefits, but I'm not quite sure of the higher benefits that have been told to me. And I mean, I was listening to Shikshashtak also, yes, some days ago we were discussing in the reading group. So that also is quite of progressive, development of consciousness, and to the extent we feel a lot of separation from Krishna. So I guess I just need to continue with the process, but any insights if you would like to give, Prabhu, I would very much appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Can you read this?
Jamil has already atoned for all his sinful actions. Indeed, he has atoned not only for sins performed in one life, but for those performed in millions of lives. For in a helpless condition, he chanted the holy name of Narayana. Even though he did not chant purely, he chanted without offense, and therefore he is now pure and eligible for liberation.
Please read on.
Prabhu, should I read the purport as well?
Yes.
The Yamadutas had considered only the external situation of Ajamil. Since he was extremely sinful throughout his life, they thought he should be taken to Yamaraj, and did not know that he had become free from the reactions of all his sins. The Vishnu Dutas therefore instructed that because he had chanted the 4 syllables of the name Narayana at the time of his death, he was freed from all sinful reactions. In this regard, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur quotes the following verses from Smriti Shastra. Namna hi yavati shakti papa nirharane hare tavat kartum na shaknoti patakam pataki naraha. Simply by chanting one holy name of Hari, a sinful man can counteract the reactions to more sins than he is able to commit. Brihad Vishnu Purana. Avishnavati yan namni kirtite sarva patake pumam vimuchate sadaha simha trashtre mriger iva. If one chants the holy name of the Lord, even in a helpless condition or without desiring to do so, all the reactions of his sinful life depart, just as when a lion roars, all the small animals flee in fear. Garuda Purana. Sakrit Uchatam Yena Hare Iti Akshara Dvayam Badha Parikaras Tena Mokshaya Gamam Prati. By once chanting the holy name of the Lord, which consists of the 2 syllables Hari, one guarantees his path to liberation. These are some of the reasons why the Vishnu Dutas objected to the Yamadutas taking Ajamil to the court of Yamaraj.
So you see the power of the holy name, even if a person just chants once, so powerful that it can clear you of sins, can counter the reaction of more sins than is able to commit. You see how the holy name is, because the holy name and the Lord are non-different. If the material contacts the name of a person and the person, they are 2 different subjects. But in Krishna's case, his name, his form, his path, everything are non-different. So when you chant his name, you see, you can counter the reaction of more sins than is able to commit just by chanting one name, See how powerful the holy name is. If one chants the holy name of the Lord, even in a helpless condition or without desiring to do so, all the reaction of his sinful life departs. Just as when a lion roars, all the small animals flee in fear. How powerful you have something, It is not a cheap thing, Because to get to chant the holy name, you must have done huge amount of piety, Hmm? You understand?
Prabhu, I have one doubt. When we see, I was even going through the overview of your life mentioned on the website. I saw there were so many challenges you had to face, like the property, about the property prices crashing, and even when you had to formulate the temple, you had to face a lot of struggles with ISKCON, and even when you were serving, I mean, you were serving quite purely, I believe in, but you had some problems with other temple presidents. So, I mean, if I see a life of a pure person like yourself, and no way I am to compare myself, we see like devotees in Ukraine having to go through war. So, I mean, these pastimes, I don't disregard them. With all my respects, I have faith. But, when we see in the current lives, when we see what people are going through, so it kind of, we feel it's not sinful reaction, then what is it? I mean, they may have got some benefit from taking the shelter of Krishna, but it's not that you can say they haven't got any sinful reactions, say even after initiation or kind of more dedication to Krishna. So that is, kind of not so much, fitting my mind. I do humbly admit I have a very tiny brain, and I'm much better off after chanting, but I'm not able to go to the depth of, understanding. Sorry, Prabhu, but this question.
The thing is that in a devotee's life, it's not a path of roses, it is a path of thorns, as Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says. So when you want to, just like the Pandavas, they also had to go through a lot of trouble. So it is because the devotees are absorbed in Krishna consciousness, so these troubles are not a real issue for them, You understand? So it is explained in the Bhagavad Gita. Once they get Krishna, then they are not, they're not shaken in the midst of greatest difficulty, See, in the joyous state, they are. One is situated in boundless transcendental happiness, realized through transcendental senses, established as one never departs from the truth. And upon gaining this, he thinks there is no greater gain. When situated in such a position, one is never shaken, is he? Even in the midst of greatest difficulty. This indeed is the actual freedom from all miseries arising from material contact. So a devotee, because he's doing this work for Krishna, so he does not, just like Arjuna, when Aswatthama was shooting arrows, particularly aiming at Krishna, Arjuna went in front to take the arrows, and when the arrows struck his body, he was feeling no pain, but because the arrows he is taking for Krishna, he felt like, flower garlands, So this is the difference in Krishna consciousness. Ordinarily, material activities, to do something, it takes a lot of pain, But because the devotee is doing it on behalf of his Guru and Krishna, so there's actually bliss. That is what it is, Because material pain does not affect the devotee at all. Because he's established in bliss, even in a painful situation like Arjuna getting the arrows, it turned out to become a blissful thing, you see. So we should understand Krishna sometimes put the devotees into so many challenging situations to show the glories of the devotees, you see. You understand?
Thank you so much, Prabhu. It's I could, when reading about Prabhupada's going through the heart attack on Jaladuta and the hardships he faced, so I can relate to it. Like, even if you have the best of the devotees, there can be so many challenges. But like a person like me, I just humbly take shelter of devotees as yourselves, and try to boost myself and keep on going with the practice. So yeah, thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Someone has a question from Manila.
Hare Krishna, can you hear me?
Hare Krishna, yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, well, it's not really a question. It's more of I can understand where Rahul is coming from, especially number one, I am not a Hindu. I was born and raised here in the Philippines, and my former religion was, of course, Christianity. So now that I have this awareness of the Krishna consciousness, it's really challenging for me because of years and years of my knowledge about Christianity. So now, yeah, I have books. I follow fellow Matajis on Facebook. I think it really has to be a conscious effort on our part to really know more about Krishna consciousness. And in time, we would have that level of understanding already. I just want to say that I could relate to Rahul.
Thank you very much for your deeper understanding of loving God, because unless you know God as a person, it's very difficult to start your loving relationship. Because to love God, as they simply say, there's three entities are involved. There is one, the seven, then the Lord Himself, and of course the service, to reciprocate that love. When person loves someone, then there's exchanging of gifts, there's offering of food. All these are prerequisite for developing our deeper loving exchange. So that goes also with God. Unless you know who God is exactly, it is difficult to develop that loving exchange. And we are not kind of putting down the other religious aspect, but many of them are not very clear about the personality of Godhead. In fact, sad to say that they don't even know who God exactly is. So if you do not know God, then how you can develop your love? Yes? You understand? So therefore, God is understood in three ways. First stage is that is understood as impersonal aspect, in which many religious denomination, they adhere to. And then you have the Lord in the stage of Paramatma, or God in the heart. That stage is understanding this Lord in our heart. And then you have the Lord, the absolute truth they realize in three phases of understanding by the know of the absolute truth, and all of them are identical. Such phases of absolute truth are expressed as Brahman, the effulgent, the Paramatma, Lord in the heart, and Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. See? The three divine aspects can be explained by the sample of the sun, which is also has three different aspects, namely the sunshine, the sun surface, and the sun planet itself. One who studies the sunshine only is preliminary student. One who understands the sun's surface is further advanced, and one who can enter into the sun planet is the highest. Ordinary students who are satisfied by simply understanding the sunshine, its universal pervasiveness, and the glaring effulgence of its impersonal nature may be compared to those who can realize only the Brahman feature of the absolute truth. A student who has advanced still further can know the sun disk is compared to the knowledge of the Paramatma feature of the absolute truth, and a student who can enter into the heart of the sun planet as compared to those who realize the personal feature of the absolute truth. Therefore, the bhaktas or the transcendentalists who have realized the Bhagavan feature of the absolute truth are topmost transcendentalists. Although all students who are engaged in the study of absolute truth are engaged in the same subject matter, the sunshine, sun disk, and the inner affairs of sun planet cannot be separated from one another, yet the students of the three different spaces are not in the same category. So you see, this is the point, especially understanding the personality. The word Sanskrit word Bhagavan is explained by the great authority of Parasara Muni, the father of Vyasadeva, the supreme personality of who possesses all riches, all strength, and all fame, all beauty, all knowledge, and all renunciation is called Bhagavan. There are many persons who are very rich, very powerful, very beautiful, very famous, very learned, and very much detached. But no one can claim that he possesses all riches, all strength entirely. Only Krishna can claim this because he is the supreme personality of Godhead. No living entity, including Brahma, Lord Shiva, or Narayan, can possess opulence as fully as Krishna. Therefore, it's concluded in the Brahma Samhita by Lord Brahma himself. Lord Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. No one is equal to or above him. He is the primal Lord of Bhagavan, known as Govinda, and is the supreme cause of all causes. Ishvara Paramaha Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam. There are many personalities possessing the qualities of Bhagavan, but Krishna is the supreme because none can excel him. He is the supreme person and his body is eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. He is the primal Lord Govinda, the cause of all causes. So here it's very clearly established that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Unless you know Krishna, it is difficult to develop that love. What to speak? To come to the point of knowing Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead takes many, many births, It's not something very cheap, See, it's here in the Bhagavad Gita. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyante vasudevam sarvamiti samatma sudurlabha. So you see here, after many birth and death, he was actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. So to come to know, like you have now accepted Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Lord of your life, you have gone through so many births, It is not something ordinary to come to Krishna consciousness. It says here, after many births and deaths. So try to understand, that every soul, unless he has done heaps and heaps of piety, it is difficult for him to become a devotee. It is not something ordinary. Of course, unless you have the mercy of a pure devotee, if you can get that mercy of a pure devotee, then yes, then this thing is like a shortcut, Because of the association of a pure devotee, then yes, you can also realize by his mercy that Krishna is God, In fact, without the mercy of a pure devotee, it's very difficult to come to this understanding. It is not possible. It is not possible by our own strength that we can become a devotee of God, It requires the help of a pure devotee. Yes, Madam Iris, you must have read Prabhupada books, I'm sure.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, you read Prabhupada books, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
This is the turning point, is it not? So because
Prabhuji?
because you read Prabhupada books, this changed your life, no?
Yes, of course. Yes,
Yes.
Prabhuji.
So this is the connection. Because you have contacted a pure devotee, as in Prabhupada, therefore your life became purified,
Yes.
Otherwise, it's not possible, This is not something, we just become a pure devotee. It doesn't work like that. So you're fortunate. Been in a different part of the world, you have taken up the process very seriously. It is all due to your past connection and your connection with Prabhupada. So anyone who come to Krishna, as Krishna says, is such a great and rare soul, See that? So please continue this with enthusiasm, with your determination, and try to become a devotee of Krishna. Yes?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Came to Singapore? Are you the one?
No, Prabhuji. I'm from Andhra.
Or you from Andhra? No, the Irish. She came to Singapore.
Yeah. I think I was the one who went to Singapore for the Ratha Yatra.
Yatra. Oh, okay. So you enjoyed the Rath Yatra?
Definitely. Yes.
So your Gauri Sri, you have a question?
No, no, no. I don't have a question. I just wanted to share earlier that it could be challenging, but it's really a conscious effort on our end. If you really want to know more about Krishna as our Lord, we really have to do our best to get all of the resources that we have to share with
Yes. No, I'm referring to one Mataji here called Gauri Sri. She was talking something just now.
Yes, Prabhuji.
You were saying something just now?
In fact, I really found bliss after reading the books of Prabhupada. Recently, there was a book actually, What is the Difficulty?
Hmm.
Yeah. And
So you,
then I'm going through it. Actually, I started.
hmm.
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhu.
Prabhupada's books are that's why Prabhupada wanted us to distribute his books, you know. He says even someone touches this book, his life will change. I mean, I'm sure all of you here can testify to that because you read the book, your whole life has become very, very much, you know, advanced, understanding that the real person that we should all put our life and soul is Krishna.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, Prabhu.
Hmm. So you're fortunate, you know, you've taken up the process. After millions of lifetime of wandering around, finally we have got, you know, the association of a pure devotee. Because this thing about talking about you need a living person does not really substantiate itself because most of you are now, I think, have not met Prabhupada. Yes?
Yes, yes, Prabhu.
But because you have contacted him through his instruction, your life has changed.
Yes,
So this philosophy that you need a living personality, it doesn't hold ground, you know. So we have to be therefore very much not be influenced by deviant philosophy that taking people, you know, on the wrong sides. Give
yes,
us
Prabhu.
an example. I mean, you read Prabhupada books, all your life changes. Hmm?
Yes,
Correct?
yes, yes, Prabhu. Correct, Prabhu.
So some group of people are promoting this, you need some living person, and that's not, there's no, what we say, evidence for that. So you can go back home, back to Godhead just by taking Prabhupada shelter. That's our ice games presentation, you know. And we are saying it really works. Of course, you can take association of a living person in the form of a shiksha, guru, whoever is, you know, able to help you in that sense, bring you closer to Prabhupada. Otherwise, you know, association is always eternal, especially the instruction of Prabhupada.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, Prabhu.
Any other questions? Anybody else have anything else to add? You want to share their realization? Everyone is very silent, I guess. So this now we are continuing on the holy name of the Lord. That anyone who chants the holy name, we must have done heaps and heaps of pious activity. You know, it's not that although it seems very cheap and easy, but unless a person has done, you know, it is not possible to chant. You know. See? To say nothing of the spiritual advancement, a person who sees the Supreme Personality face to face. Even a person born in a family of doctors immediately become eligible to perform Vedic sacrifices if he utters the holy name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead or chants about him, hears about his pastime, offers him obeisance, or even remembers him. You see this? You see how powerful. Therefore, chanting Krishna's name is the topmost uh, activity for the conditioned soul. More so in Kali Yuga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stressed the chanting as the most important event. Although there are 9 kinds of devotional service, anyone who chants is considered as performing all of them. See? Oh, how glorious are those whose tongue are chanting your holy name, even if born in family of dog-eaters. Such persons are worshipable. Persons who chant the holy name of your Lordship must have executed all kinds of austerities and fire sacrifices and achieve all the good manners of the Aryan. To be chanting the holy name of your Lordship, they must have bathed at holy places of pilgrimage, studied the Vedas, and fulfilled everything required. So you see, the one who chants, so powerful, Because a devotee should not be carried away thinking that I'm chanting, therefore I'm very much, the devotee always is feeling that he is the most lowest of the low, that he is not capable, he got so much of offenses. I'm not very pure, although chanting for many years. I am, still at the lowest stage of my life, That's how a devotee is always feeling, And that is the proper attitude. Although a pure devotee standard above all, he still considers himself to be the lowest state of life, This is how a devotee is always feeling. Not that he is thinking that he is very advanced, So we should always, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, to become lower than the straw in the street, to be more tolerant than the tree, and to be very humble, showing respect to everybody. Then he can chant, The devotee who is advanced is always thinking like that, I have no love. My Lord, I do not have any love for you, nor am I qualified for discharging devotional service by chanting and hearing, nor do I possess the mystic power of a Vaishnava, knowledge or pious activities, nor do I belong to a very high caste family. On the whole, I do not possess anything. Still, O beloved of the gopis, because you bestow your mercy on the most fallen, I have unbreakable hope that is constantly in my heart. That hope is always giving me pain. So this is the mood of the devotee, So we should always think ourselves like this and be praying to Krishna. Although the chanting is so powerful, because there are 3 stages of chanting. One in the lower stage is called the one who chants on the Nama Aparad stage, and then there is the Nama Abhasha stage, and then there is the pure love of God, If one who is embarrassed by hunger or falls down or stumbles and chants the holy name of the Lord even once, willingly or unwillingly, he is immediately free from the reaction of his past deeds. Karmis entangled in material activities face many difficulties in the practice of mystic yoga and other endeavors to achieve that same freedom. It is not a fact that one has to offer his material possession to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and be liberated before he can engage in devotional service. A devotee automatically attains liberation without separate endeavors. Bali Maharaj did not get back all his material possession merely because of his charity to the Lord. One who becomes a devotee free from material desires and motives regards all opportunity, both material and spiritual, as benediction from the Lord. And in this way, his service to the Lord is never hampered. Bhukti, material enjoyment, and mukti, liberation, are only byproducts of devotional service. A devotee did not work separately to attain mukti. Srila Bilva Mangal Thakur says, Mukti swayam mukutilan mukulitanjali sevetesman. A pure devotee of the Lord does not have to endeavor separately for mukti because mukti is always ready to serve him. In this regard, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antilila, this 3177 and 188 had described Haridas Thakur confirmation of the effect of chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Some say that by chanting the holy name of the Lord, one is free from all the reactions of sinful life. Others say that by chanting the holy name of the Lord, one attains liberation from material bondage. Haridas Thakur, however, says that the desired result of chanting the holy name of the Lord is not that one is liberated from material bondage or freed from the reaction of sinful life. The actual result of chanting the holy name of the Lord is that one awakens in dormant Krishna consciousness, his loving service to the Lord. So this is the real meaning of chanting Hare Krishna. One awakens his love for the Lord. Haridas said that liberation and freedom from the reaction of sinful activities are only byproducts of chanting the holy name of the Lord. If one chants the holy name of the Lord purely, he attains the platform of loving service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this regard, Haridas Thakur gave an example comparing the power of the holy name to sunshine. He placed the verse before all the learned scholars present, but the learned scholars asked him to state the purport of the verse. Haridas Thakur said that as the sun shines, as the sun begins to rise, it dissipates the darkness of night, even before the sunshine is visible. Before the sunrise even takes place, the light of dawn destroys the fear of the dangers of the night, such as disturbance by thieves, ghosts, and rakshasas. And when the sunshine actually appears, one engaged in his duty. Similarly, even before one chanting the holy name is pure, one is free from all sinful reaction. And when he chants purely, he becomes a lover of Krishna. A devotee never accepts mukti even if Krishna offers it. Mukti, freedom from all sinful reactions, is obtained even by the nama abhas or glimpse of the light of the holy name before its full light is perfectly visible. The nama abhas state is between that of the nama aparad or chanting of the holy name with offenses and pure chanting. There are three stages in the chanting of holy name of the Lord. The first stage, one commits 10 kinds of offenses while chanting. In the next stage, nama abhas, the offense have almost stopped and one is coming to the platform of pure chanting. In the third stage, when one chants the Hare Krishna mantra without offense, his dormant love for Krishna immediately awakens. This is the perfection. So you see how the three stages of chanting. Initially, we may be chanting so when you explain, when you are in the initial state of life, one begins to chant, is committing all the offenses. So as he gradually grow in steady, then he comes to the neutral stage where he doesn't have any more desires and his chanting is almost coming to the pure stage. That's called nama bas. And of course, when you chant purely, then you develop the asta, sattvika, vikara, the eighth form of transformation, whereby you're shedding tears and your voice is choking up and hair standing on your body, and all these symptoms are visible on a pure devotee that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has exhibited all the time. This is the Mahabhava stage, So we gradually grow from one stage to one stage to one stage. So this is how a person becomes, spiritually advanced. So there's a question. We'll take the question. Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. I heard one Prabhupada short video in that Prabhupada telling devotional service is not checked by any material destination. Can you please explain further insight on this, Prabhu? Yes. So in this verse, you can see it is in the CC, whereby it's explained here that spiritual life cannot be checked by any kind of endeavor, you know. So give me a minute, let me look for it. Spiritual life is so powerful that nothing can hinder the process of spiritual life. This is the power of, just like Ganga flows uninterrupted. So like that, you know. So here in this verse, it is quoted also by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, sorry to interrupt. Regarding the last line you read, it reminds me of the offense to commit sinful activities on the strength of the chanting of holy names. So could you please clarify if devotees, like even myself, you know, living in Kali Yuga, it's rather easy to engage in sinful activity like eating of not best kind of vegetarian or some other foods. So sometimes in society it's happen, and so not, I don't want to be complacent, but at the same time I hope Krishna understands that it's part of life and forgives me. So could you please tell what
You know, you cannot compromise, you know. Eating outside doesn't mean that Krishna will understand. There's no such thing as Krishna will understand. You understand or not? You cannot take that advantage, because the duty of a devotee is to strictly follow the guidelines that has been given by the spiritual master. As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also said, Vishara Kaila Anna, Nai Krishna Smaran. If you eat contaminated food, then it's difficult for you to chant the holy name. That's why it's advised that you must only take Krishna Prasadam. Even in society or anything, then your whole duty is to try to minimize that contact and try to stick to the principle. Because you live in a society, the society is not going to take you back home, back to Godhead. Krishna and Guru is going to do that. And unless you follow their instruction, it will be very difficult for you to make spiritual advancement. There's no such thing as Krishna will understand. Krishna will understand that you are also weak, you know. You have to change. Yes?
Thank you, Prabhu. Actually, you know, just to be more, I mean, it's kind of, you may, how to say it, we should not be offending others. That's just one part of, you know, kind of Vaishnava's mentality, that Vaishnav does not want to hurt anyone. Of course, Krishna is the topmost priority, or the ideal where I aspire to ultimately go, because all the relations or my friends in society, they are all going to be temporary. But you know, just not to make anyone feel offended, one may do, but not for one's own sense gratification. Like that much motive I try to keep, but sometimes, you know, like having some onion garlic sometimes at home or those kind of things, I'm not able to very much strictly follow. So
See, you must understand that you have to strictly follow. If you think that no, I cannot offend the others, but you have to first understand the golden rule is that you cannot offend Krishna and Guru. So these are instructions given to you to follow, and by doing that, you'll get spiritual strength. But if you try to adjust yourself and try to accommodate all these other kind of nonsense, then you're going to fall down. You understand? So this is not some compassion to Vaishnava is compassionate, and this, no, you cannot. First and foremost, you are not in the platform of being a very strong devotee to give that kind of compassion. You understand? For a neophyte, it is very dangerous for him to think himself as a very advanced Vaishnava to give compassion to the others at the expense of breaking principles. This he cannot do. At any circumstances, the devotee must always comply with the order of the Guru and Krishna. You understand? You cannot say that, oh, Krishna and Guru will understand my situation. No. You are put in such a situation to Krishna wants to see how you're going to become strong. Whether you're going to reject or you're going to accept this and fall down. You understand? So that's why determination is very important. Not only you must become enthusiastic, you must also become very determined. Otherwise, how are you going to get spiritual strength? Of course, the others may be offended, but then by time they will then appreciate your what we say, your steadiness, So yes, this person is very steady, he is practicing purely. Then they will appreciate, as Prabhupada said, first they will criticize, and then they will try to punish you, but finally they will accept you. But if you don't become determined, then how you can, get the strength? Because Krishna is in your heart. And our duty is to please Krishna. That's why Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Dharma Parityaja Mamekam, says, abandon all varieties of this religion and surrender unto me. I will take care. So how are you going to surrender to Krishna if you are going to compromise? Is there any verse that Krishna says, okay, for relatives and everybody you can compromise? You find some verse for me there? Can show me? Hello?
Sorry, Prabhu.
Can you find some verses in the Shastra that said, yeah, it's all right, you can compromise, Krishna will understand? Do you have a verse like that?
Prabhu, not exactly. I've not come across such verse, but my humble opinion about the process and the strictness or the regulations was like a gradual development of love of God is what is being talked about, and the most important ingredient being chanting of the holy name.
Gradual development you doesn't mean you break principles. You understand? It is not that gradually you develop by breaking.
This kind of feeling them to be lesser significant and important,
No.
kind of going balanced approach and gradual.
No, that you don't know how to approach. That's why you need a guru to guide you. The guru tells you do like this and you do like that. It is not that how you mentally speculate, then you cannot. But then why you need a guru? You don't need a guru. You can just do it yourself. And then you can break principles and think you can find a way to go back to Godhead. That's not the method. The method, as Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita, is that you surrender. Then you inquire submissively and then you do the service. He never asks you not to surrender. So if you don't want to surrender to the Guru and follow his instruction, then how are you going to become successful? You understand? So you must know this is not correct and I cannot do it. And I must not do it. I cannot say that no, gradually. When is gradual? You can take millions of years and be gradual. Already we have wasted millions of years already in different bodies. Are you still prepared to change your body and carry on your different birth? Tell me. As Krishna, you take your...
Prabhuji, about time, place,
Let me
circumstance.
finish. If you take one step to Krishna, and Krishna, if you become determined like the sparrow, Prabhupada gave the example of the sparrow in the Bhagavad Gita, that he tried to empty the ocean and he was pecking the water slowly by slowly. And then Garuda came to help. So when you become determined, Krishna will then reciprocate accordingly, you know. You understand? Huh?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
You,
Prabhuji, I will pray to Krishna. Actually, before I was with devotees and I only took Krishna Prasadam, no outside food. But I was feeling very uncomfortable at a place, so I moved to the mountains so for better health. But here I'm not able to get prasadam, and I'm not good at cooking. So it was like more a time, place, circumstance situation. I thought the people, devotees also say we have to be practically applied according to time, place, and circumstances. So that way I was kind of a speculative thinking, and so I understand I'm not following the highest. So maybe I feel humble, but maybe others also have such situations. So I thought to ask.
no,
Sorry, Prabhu, if offended.
you cannot compromise even you go under the water also, no. You go to mountains or underwater anywhere. This principle we cannot break. Because if you eat contaminated food, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself have warned Raghunath that you will not become Krishna conscious. So that is the drawing line. We cannot do it means we cannot do. You understand? So you must learn how to become strong in that aspect. Huh? Hello? Yes? You
Yes,
follow?
Prabhu. Thank
Hmm. So you try to understand. This is very important, you know. Unless you understand this point, then how you will make progress spiritually? Huh? You follow? Hello?
you. Yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
If you want to save somebody, you must first learn how to swim, no? Understand? Yes? Hmm?
Yes, Prabhu.
Hmm. Just as the celestial waters of the Ganges flow unobstructed into the ocean, so when my devotees simply hear of me, their minds come to me, who reside in the hearts of all. So this is the point. They are characteristics of transcendental loving service to Purushottama, the Supreme Personality of God. It is costless and it cannot be obstructed in any way. So devotional service is spiritual, and material things are all obstruction. So spiritual thing cannot be impeded by anything material. Spirit powers matter, not matter powers spirit. So try to understand, if you take up the Krishna conscious process, there may be some impediments. This is only created by Krishna to strengthen our what we say, strength for going to Him. So these obstacles are seen as some, not impediment, but actually something to try you know, our strength, how much we are determined to go forward to Krishna, even at cost of so many obstacles. So that develops our love for him. Just like the Pandavas, they were put into extreme difficulties. And the gopis, they were also put into extreme difficulties. But this only brings about a loving exchange with the Lord. See? So this is how a person should see. Then not that you become a devotee, then everything is, a smooth path and you have no problem and all kind of things, you see. But devotees, they take every kind of challenge just to get to develop their loving exchange with Krishna. I think some time ago I quoted one verse from the CC, that how the gopis were humiliated, they were put into so many problems. Huh? Yes, and still their love for Krishna was never wavered. Hmm? Yes. So here you can see this verse. social customs, spiritual injunction, bodily demands, fruitive action, shyness, patience, bodily pleasure, self-gratification, and the path of varnashram dharma, which is difficult to give up. The gopis have forsaken all this along with their families and suffered, you see here, their relatives' punishments and scolding, all for the sake of loving Krishna. They render loving service to him for the sake of his enjoyment. So because they are going to Krishna, because Maya always wants to make so much of problems, that the nature of Maya is make the devotee stronger. And that way, because there are so many obstacles, but the devotee, because he is determined for Krishna, is also, reciprocating in that on that same level. Krishna wants to see our love, What can we give him? He has got everything. So when a person endeavors with so many difficulty to come to him, Krishna is touched, He is overwhelmed. That's why he also said to, in the Bhagavatam, the gopis, they don't know who I am. They don't know exactly my position. But because they love me, I'm also, very much indebted. I take out that verse to show you. See here, the devotees, my devotee may or may not know exactly what I am, for I am and how I exist, but if they worship me with unalloyed love, then I consider them to be the best of the devotees. So you see how devotee, their position, Krishna is overwhelmed, I also said here, develop love for Krishna is not some, we have to show, to show our since pure devotees give up their homes, their wives, their children, relatives, riches, and even their lives simply to serve me without any desire for material improvement in this life or in the next, how can I give up such devotees at any time? So this is Krishna's, reciprocation. He is never, that's why he told Arjuna, Kauntaya pratijana hai ma bhakta pranashate. Declared boldly Arjuna, my devotee, never perish. Never perish means when a person takes up devotional service, he cannot in any way, lose that service. It's not possible. They say, even if you lose also, Krishna says, never mind, next life he will go and then he come back and he take birth and he will continue again from where he stops. See, so there's nothing can obstruct devotional service at any point of life. Of course, temporarily maybe can have put into a little difficulty by going to a heavenly planet and enjoying your senses. But the thing is that it can continue, it continues also, again, it takes up that process without him seeking it. See, Krishna says here, Purva Abhyasena, you see that? By virtue of his divine consciousness of his previous life, he automatically become attracted to yogic principles, even without seeking them. Such an inquisitive transcendentalist stands always above the ritualistic principles of the scriptures. Even Arjuna was saying earlier in this verse that what is the position of a devotee, who, some or other been sidetracked, What would be his position? Arjuna said, "O Krishna, what is the destination of the unsuccessful transcendentalist who in the beginning takes to the process of self-realization with faith, but who later on deceased due to worldly mindedness, and thus does not attain perfection in mysticism. So here it talks about a devotee who has fallen down. But Krishna says, O Almighty, O Almighty Am Krishna, does not such a man who is bewildered from the path of transcendence fall away from both spiritual and material success and perish like a ribbon cloud with no position in any sphere? So this is Arjuna's inquiry. What happens? What happens to a person who gives up? This is my doubt, O Krishna. I ask you to dispel it completely, but for you no one is found who can destroy this doubt. Krishna says here, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O son of Prita, transcendentalists engaged in auspicious activity does not meet with distraction either in this world or in the spiritual world. One who does good, my friend, is never overcome by evil. So there's no obstruction for a devotee. There's no loss. Also, we have learned in that verse, Krishna also said in the Bhagavatam, it says that even if a person does his material activities perfectly, what is his gain? But if he does, in this verse here you can see, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna was speaking about this, a little endeavor in this saves one from the greatest danger. I'm sure you know this. In this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution. A little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. Can you imagine a little endeavor? And then here again, Krishna says, one who has forsaken his material occupation to engage in devotional service to the Lord may sometimes fall down while in an immature stage, yet there is no danger of being unsuccessful. On the other hand, a non-devotee, though fully engaged in occupational duties, does not gain anything. There is a big difference. That's why once coming to Krishna consciousness, then there is no more, anything else to do because you are rightly situated. So Krishna consciousness is so dynamic, That's why it's even that it says here, I think it's this verse. My dear Vyasa, even though a devotee of Lord Krishna sometimes fall down, somehow or other he certainly does not undergo material existence like others, fruitive workers. Because a person who has once relished the taste of the lotus feet of the Lord can do nothing but remember that ecstasy again and again. See this point? So that's why it says in the Bhagavad Gita also, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna was saying, you see, yad gyantva na punar moham. See, having obtained real knowledge from self-realized soul, you will never fall again into such illusion. You see this point here? For this knowledge, by this knowledge, you will see that all living beings are but part of the Supreme, or in other words, their mind. So you see how the Krishna conscious thing is that once you have come to Krishna, then it's a matter of, how you become successful spiritually. It is like an onward journey. And you are coming to the topmost stage as gradually you go on. But if you take up the process has been mentioned by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Prabhupada, then this life you are going back to Godhead already. This is finished. By their mercy, as Prabhupada said, you hold on to my dhoti and I'll take you back to the spiritual world. So this is the point. Therefore, you're becoming a devotee. That's why Krishna, orders Arjuna, you by all means you become a devotee. Right? By all means, you become a devotee, It says in the next verse, it sees what Krishna is saying. So here you can see a yogi is greater than ascetic, greater than emperor, and greater than the fruity worker. That means a greater yogi is greater than the one who does mystic yoga, is better than a one who is speculator, and a devotee is better than a fruity worker, karmi. Therefore, Arjuna in all circumstances become a yogi here, referring to a bhakti yogi. That's why Krishna says, of all the yogis, that means of all kind of spiritualists, the one with great faith who abides in me, thinks of me within himself, and renders transcendental loving service to me, is the most intimately united within yoga and the highest of all. This is my opinion. So becoming a devotee means the end of your material life, It says here, most important. I think this is the verse. The real problem of life is the repetition of birth and death, which is like a wheel rolling repeatedly up and down. This wheel, uh, this wheel, however, completely stops when one is in touch with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In other words, by the transcendental bliss realized from constant engagement in devotional service, one is completely liberated from material existence. All learned men know this. Therefore, my dear friends, O son of Asura, immediately begin meditating upon and worshipping the super soul within everyone's hearts. You understand? So once you have come to Krishna, then this material life is finished. You understand? So there's no obstruction to that. Of course, temporarily you may be sidelined with some material desires, this and that. But nonetheless, there's no loss. That's why a little endeavor serves one from the greatest danger, Huh? You understand this? Now we read, Krishna is saying, no? Correct? Is it not? So this is what it means, That's why Krishna is urging, surrender everything and come to me, This will save us from all kind of a biggest problem. Correct?
True.
So we should not waste time, So if you take up, even he says here, even if you run in devotional service with your eyes closed, still you will never trip and fall, So take up the process. It's so powerful, becoming a devotee. But if you don't become a devotee, then it's going to be a big challenge. Because Krishna says, if you don't want to become a devotee, I am going to destroy you. So why we take all these crazy challenges? Yes. So any sane person will immediately take up the shelter of the Lord and try to take, And if you do that, then the Lord is very kind, He also is making plans how to take you back, Not that only it's one-sided that you must, because you must surrender. We're not saying that you don't surrender. Namo Vishuddha Sattvaya Hare Hari Me Desahe Vasudevaya Krishnaya Prabhave Sarva Sattvatam. My dear Lord, we offer respectful obeisance unto you because your existence is completely independent of all material influence. Your Lordship always takes away the devotee's miserable condition, for your brain plans how to do so. You live everywhere as Paramatma, therefore you are known as Vasudeva. You also accept Vasudeva as your father, and you are celebrated by the name Krishna. You are so kind that you always increase the influence of all kinds of devotees. So this is the thing, is it? The Lord is always planning, how to take away the devotee's miserable condition, and He is trying to save us. You see, He is not in any way just sitting idly and waiting for us, or because we have to surrender. That's our our condition. But if we don't surrender, then how? Hmm? Characteristically, the Supreme Personality of Godhead does not take seriously an offense committed by a pure devotee. The Lord accepts whatever small service a devotee renders as being a great service, that he is prepared to give even himself, what to speak of other benediction. Well, you understand? So therefore, it is a duty of us to surrender. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is known as Purushottama, the greatest of all persons, has a pure mind, is so gentle that even if a servant is implicated in great offense, he does not take it very seriously. Indeed, if his servant renders some small service and the Lord accepts it as being very great. Even if an envious person blasphemes the Lord never manifests anger against him. Such are his great qualities. You see? So try to understand, how the Lord, is ever ready to take us back home, back to Godhead. And therefore, devotional service has no impediment. Nothing can stop devotional service. Even if it is checked, still the end result is always progressive. Therefore, our own request is that we have some or other take up the challenge and become a devotee by all means. It is our greatest asset. That's why if you have got Krishna, then you are said to be the most fortunate person. Understand? Hello?
Yes, Prabhu.
It's a small endeavor also doesn't go in vain. Again, the same point. Activities dedicated to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even if performed in small measure, never go in vain. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, being the Supreme Father, is naturally very dear and always ready to act for the good of the living entities. So that is Krishna, If, as many times Prabhupada said, you take one step and Krishna take 9 steps towards you. You see, that's why we can just open the mouth and chant Hare Krishna. Completely most fortunate person in the 3 worlds. As simple as that. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu broadcasted this publicly, chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah? Yes. So I hope I answered that. Of course, I can go on and on. There are many other verses, but I think I've made my point. But Prabhu, what about if a person is dumb and deaf by birth? How he can understand Krishna consciousness? Well, if he's dumb, he can still write, Hare Krishna on a book. And if he's deaf, he still also can write. He can learn how to write Hare Krishna on the book, and then mentally he can chant. There's no stoppages, Nothing can impede devotional service.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes.
Because spiritual and material things are two different things, Matter has got so many conditions, but spirit has got no conditions, It's eternal.
Yes.
In fact, Krishna explained or tried to explain in 2nd chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, the spirit soul cannot be cut, cannot be dried, cannot be, it's eternal, right? You understand?
Yes.
So the spirit soul is so powerful. What about the spiritual energy, which is non-different?
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
So That is the point. See, what is the other question? Dumb and deaf. Okay. So try to understand. Spiritual life is the only thing one need to do. Anything else is simply a waste of time, you know. The one thinks that other things are very important, then he is only wasting time, you know. You follow? Hmm?
Yes, bro.
Anything else is simply waste of time.
Yeah, I wasted so
Hmm?
much time.
That's the problem, you see. We are all been trained to waste time, you know. We're learning how to do all useless things from the day one we take birth, you know. Yes, that's how we have been sidetracked. Dharmam swanisista pumsam visvaksena katashuya nopadaya yadiratim srama eva he kevalam. Occupational duties a man performs according to his own position are only so much useless labor if they do not provoke the attraction of the message of the personality of Godhead. So you see how. So try to understand devotional service is, you know, the only thing a person need to do. And he have come to doing that, then his life is successful. Even he doesn't do anything, he says to be the most fortunate person. Hmm? So
Yes.
try to understand this importance, no? Hmm?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, bro.
I think even Kunti Devi is also saying like that, you know, nothing can obstruct, you know, devotional service. You know, it's here in this verse. In this verse here. O Lord of Madhu, as the Ganges forever flows to the sea without hindrance, let my attraction be constantly drawn onto you without being diverted to anyone else. So you see how she's praying. So our whole idea is to try to somehow or other become Krishna conscious. And we are so fortunate at this situation of our birth that we have the association of Prabhupada and also Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and everybody else as by the mercy of Prabhupada. So we'll be utter foolish on our part that we don't take up the process little seriously. Nothing much, Prabhupada said. You just take prasadam, you chant Hare Krishna and carry on with whatever you're doing.
Yes.
This life becomes successful. Who cannot do these things? Hmm? Yes?
Anyone can. Yes.
Hmm. Correct.
Yes.
Hmm.
For initially, for this stick to this principle or in devotional service, you need some attraction or taste to stick to that principle.
Yeah, because the moment you take up Krishna consciousness, immediately you get that attraction, no?
Yes.
Correct? And
Yes.
also you get, first thing is that you get relief from all your anxieties.
Yes.
And the first thing you get
Yes. Yes.
happiness and you get relief from all anxiety, you know? And
Yes.
this is the power of the chanting, is it? It's so powerful, devotional service, you know?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Yeah, Prabhu,
Just give me a minute.
is there anything like auspiciousness about the number 16?
Give me a minute. I'm just getting to this. Devotional service is klesha agni even
Yes,
for
Prabhu.
beginners. You see this?
Yes. Yes.
This means that it reduces or nullifies all kinds of suffering The word Subhada indicates the devotional service bestow all good fortune, and the word Krishna Akarshani indicates the devotional service gradually attracts Krishna toward the devotee. So once a person have Krishna, then what's the loss, what's the difficulty, right?
Yes.
Yes or not?
Yes.
Even for beginners, it says, his klesha agni. This means that it reduces or nullifies all kinds of suffering.
Yes.
So take it up a little seriously. That's all. What's the problem? Right. So what's the other question, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu. Like, is there any auspiciousness about the number 16, like 16 rounds? Or else, is there anything like, for example, we are done with 16 rounds in the morning. Like, will it be continued?
Yes, that's only the minimum, because you can always do more.
Okay.
You understand? But that's the minimum. That means you should not do anything lower than 16 every day. You understand?
Okay.
But of course, if you
Yes,
can
Prabhu.
do better still, correct? Haridas Thakur was chanting was 172 rounds a day. You know?
Okay.
So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, for him, anyone who chants less than 64 rounds, he doesn't accept food from their house. So, of course, by the mercy of Prabhupada, we have made it to 16 rounds. That's Prabhupada's mercy,
Yes, completely.
So, if the more you can do, the better it is. But try to do 16, the bare minimum, every day.
Yes,
If
Prabhu.
not do, then you should try to make up the next day, what you could not do or finish. So that is the point.
Yes, yes.
Unless there is some kind of a strictness, we will not take it seriously, because we are always trying to procrastinate, later.
Yes.
Our nature. So that's why Prabhupada has put this condition for us.
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah, yes, Prabhu, got it.
Where are you from?
I'm from India, Prabhu. Andhra.
Oh, you're from Andhra. Oh, which part of Andhra?
West Godavari.
West Godavari. I don't
Yes.
know.
Okay.
Anyway, very nice of you coming on board. I'm very happy
Yes,
to.
Prabhu. I just wanted to share something with you, Prabhu. Like, actually, my daughter, she is pursuing her medicine. And then I used to just get perplexed whenever she used to just go on chanting. Beginning, I was like just a normal person, actually. I did not taste Krishna consciousness, actually. And the girl used to, early morning, she used to wake up at Brahma Muhurta, and she used to just decorate herself and then start offering her prayers to God. I was like, what is she doing? It's her medicine, and is she not going to study? I used to think in that way. But then that girl has shown me this particular path. I decided to just tread on a path and see what exactly is going on. Like, if I start doing it, how will it be? And then I started. When I started, I really understood. And then I have surrendered myself. And then my life is totally changed. I'm so happy, actually, currently.
See, your daughter have delivered you.
Yes.
Fortunate you have such a daughter,
Yes, Prabhu.
Because she's going to study medicine. That is nice. We are not saying medicine is not nice. But the real thing is to deliver one from the disease of, this Bhava Roga. Bhava means birth and death. Disease of birth. That is the real thing. Just like now you made us. If she has delivered you to the real path, Yes.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
His mic is on. Can he unmute himself? So you see how important it is, that you have now been saved.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
So you should try now to help others, huh?
Yes, Prabhu.
Mataji, we have a ISKM temple in Amalapuram. I think it's close to where you live.
You can go
Hare
to
Krishna,
the temple
Mataji.
there, Amalapuram.
Yes, Prabhu.
So anyone has any more questions? Very nice to hear how all of you are taking up the process, It's very inspiring how Prabhupada is saving so many souls. This is very important because without Krishna, forget it. We're going to be in a terrible mess. Our whole life will be rotating in the cycle of birth and death. Already 150 trillion years have gone. How much more time? That only Krishna knows. So better take up the process very severely and seriously and make it back home, back to God. All right, so any other questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
In our area, some Buddhists are there, no? Means they don't believe in God. So whenever I say that why you don't believe in God, they say that means they follow Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar's constitution. They say like that.
They follow
So
who?
so they say that we don't believe in God and we don't believe in Brahmanas because in earlier they have done many atyachars on Shudras like that. So how to tell them that Brahmanas are not like that? Like so.
To tell them if they don't believe in God, then why you are taking all God's things?
They say that we are doing our hard work and we are earning. God is not coming
You're
and
doing your hard work. Can you make rice? Can you make 1 grain of rice? Your hard work, can you go to some factory and make some rice or some atta or something? Can you do that? Can you make some air? Can you make all these things? Huh? Whose things are this? Hello?
yes, Prabhu.
Whose things are this? Your grandfathers? Your grandmothers? Tell me. Whose things are this? Huh?
Yes, Prabhu. Right, Prabhu. I
Huh?
say, but he always spread hates. I mean, so he always fight with me.
Yeah, so you must show. Krishna is saying here in the Bhagavad Gita, these are my things. What are these my things? Huh? So don't
I
take
also
things.
say,
Don't take my things, Why you say? Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false all together these constitute 8 constitute my separated energy. This is Krishna's things. So you don't take Krishna's things. If you think that you don't believe in God, then don't touch his things. Why are you eating his rice? Why are you eating his vegetables and grains and milk and all? You can produce them? Huh? Hello?
no, bro.
You tell him, why are you cheating? You say there's no God and eating his things. Now if I come to your house and say I don't believe you are the owner and take all your things, would that be very happy? Make you happy? Tell me.
No.
Huh? So let
I
me come
tell
to
like
your house and rape your wife and kill your children and eat them and all. Would you be happy?
no, bro.
Hello?
No, bro.
Then why are you denying this existence of God? You're a rascal. Is it not?
Yes, Prabhu.
Not. So you speak to him like that. For him, you
Uh,
need to speak like this. What can?
I fight with him, Prabhu, but
What?
but
But what?
but he say that why then Brahmanas have done like that. I told him that I was
Is
not.
like that or not like that. Our point is that everything is belonging to God. Now, suppose some people are becoming thieves and all that. So that means what? We should kill everybody? Huh? Yeah, some brahmanas are off track. What to do in Kali Yuga? This is going to happen. It's already predicted in the Varaha Puranam that the demons will take birth as Brahmins and they'll disrupt Vedic culture. That's there. Because Kali Yuga, everything is topsy-turvy. Hello? Doesn't mean that some Brahmins are off track, means all Brahmins are off track. Yes? Hello?
Yes, means I fight with him. I
Yeah, you
said to him
should
that,
fight with him. Definitely you should fight. How can he deny God, and take all God's thing? This is rubbish. Yes?
yes, Prabhu.
Everything belongs to God. Krishna says everything is under my control. So if you're trying to deny his existence, you must be the worst rascals of all. Yes?
Yes, Prabhu.
They're demons. Krishna says 4 kinds of people don't surrender to me. The one who is what? Then the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying these are the characteristics of people who don't surrender.
Namam Drishtati Namam.
This is the verse. No. So these are the demons, that don't surrender to Krishna. There's miscreants who are grossly foolish, who are lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, who partake of the artistic nature of demons, do not surrender to me. So these are the people who don't surrender.
Yes, Prabhu.
Right. So you should try. And this kind of people, Krishna said, I cast them to lower and lower species where they go down and stay there perpetually. Correct? If you want to go that way, no problem. It's your problem. I can only give warning. Understand?
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, understand.
Especially when they get into trouble. You mean to say they will never get into troubles? Yes?
Yes, yes, Prabhu.
So try to teach him. I mean, if he doesn't learn, then forget it. No, waste our time preaching to this faithless, no?
Yes, Prabhu. Sometimes I ignore to him because he is not ready to listen me. So I
And better
ignored him.
avoid him, no point you waste your time with the guy, Huh?
Yes, yes, Prabhu.
But you must be strong to put the argument. It's not that you're
Yes,
walking
yes, Prabhu.
because you don't know anything. We don't
No,
believe.
Prabhu. No,
We,
I directly send videos.
you understand?
Yes, Prabhu.
Understand? We are not some fools, that simply because you say like that, we walk away, Huh?
No, Prabhu. I always fight with him.
Yes,
If
fight. Of course, not literally go and smash
means
it,
no.
but at least philosophy.
Yes, yes.
After death of a family, how should one handle oneself as stuck up, as in a curfew from all sides, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, because like Arjuna, God and Guru is not present in pratyaksha form. So what is this question from Anju and Chai Singh? So after death of a family, how should one handle oneself? Because one have to see oneself as a spiritual person. And if we understand that there is no, actually the soul has not really died, it has gone to another situation. So if you have got such a situation, it will help the soul who have departed. That's the best thing you can do. And if you can, offer prayers to Krishna and offer the departed soul the prasadam, that will help the departed soul become more, better position spiritually. So there are all measures to help. So there's not, son, you're not be in a position to just sit down and keep crying. No, you actually have to wake up and carry on all these rituals that will benefit the departed souls. So all these things are there to help. You understand? So if just like a lawyer will plead for the criminal, to the judge and say he's been a good man, he did very good things and like that. So we should encourage by offering all the departed souls, prasadam, or go and do some cow seva for the on behalf of the soul. And there's so many things like this to help, Yes? I don't know this person will be hearing or not. Hello? So if you can come in contact, although Krishna and Guru are not present there, but actually you can contact the devotees who are representing Krishna and Guru. And if you take advantage of their association, they will guide you on how to also go to Guru and God Krishna, and also help the departed soul also. That way they all will benefit. So the Vedic culture is not just one-sided only, after you dead, everything is finished. No. Ours is, all-sided. Even the soul has died. Our duty is to help the departed soul to attain a higher position, if not going back to Godhead. In this regard, there was one situation in my experience that the person has passed away. So one of the devotees, he took the garland from the deity and he went and offered to the departed soul. And as they burned the body with the garland, then that soul some or other returned to this person in a dream and said, "Thank you for doing this. Now I'm in a higher position just by offering that garland." It says in the Shastra that if the soul, if he's dead, if you burn his body, you cremate him with tulsi, wood, then he also goes back to Godhead. So there's so many measures. Of course, while he's present, we ask him to chant, and that also will deliver him. So when he dies, we also do all these activities. So there's so many ways to help the conditioned soul, go back to Krishna. This is compassion. Yes?
Yes.
Hello? Can you convey all this to the person? I'm sure he must be listening. Is he listening to my question, my answers?
He's from YouTube, Prabhu, I think.
Maybe you can write to him or someone can write. So this is the method. Hello? So
He's from YouTube, Prabhu, so he's listening. YouTube stream, live stream.
Yeah, so there's no loss. You cannot just sit down and cry, That will not help. Do something. Do all these positive things to help the soul. Yes?
Yes, Prabhu.
So this is a very, very important thing, Especially if the person's soul, his body is cremated and the ashes are thrown into Ganga or the Yamuna, all these rivers, then the soul also gets home to get back to Godhead. And even if the soul has you're not done all that, if you can just go to Gaya, Vishnu Gaya, and offer the prayers for him at the lotus feet of Vishnu there, he also goes back to Godhead. If you're from India, you can go to this place, Vishnu Gaya, this is in Bihar. So there's many ways to help the soul, India is so fortunate. That's why India is called Punya Bhumi, You just have to take advantage of all these situations. Which country has got Ganga? Which country has got Yamuna? Which country has got this Vishnu Gaya? Where? Nobody else except India. So if you don't take advantage, then you can sit down and cry. It's not going to save you. That's why you need knowledge. This knowledge is so important. That's why Krishna has given this Bhagavad Gita and has given so many Shastras and Puranas and all this to deliver the conditioned soul. Krishna says here. Maya Mugda Jivere Nai Swata Krishna Gyan. Jivere Kripaya Kaila Krishna Veda Puran. The conditioned soul cannot revive his Krishna consciousness by his own effort, but out of curseless mercy, Lord Krishna has compiled the Vedic literatures and his supplement, the Puranas. So Krishna has given this Puranas and Vedic literature to give the knowledge to wake the conditioned soul. Yes. The forgetful conditioned soul is educated by Krishna through the Vedic literature, the realized spiritual master and the super soul. Through this, he can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead as he is, and he can understand that Lord Krishna is his eternal master and deliverer from the clutches of Maya. In this way, one can acquire real knowledge of his conditioned life and come to the understand how to attain liberation. So Krishna is very kind, he is given all these facilities. Why? Because to wake up the conditioned soul. Nowhere else you can find all these directions. So, but as a conditioned soul, you don't want to take advantage of all this and you just sit in your corner and cry, then what is the benefit? This is a foolish behavior. The real thing is to go and associate with devotees, and all these things will become automatically revealed to you. So this is the point. Hello, whoever the person asking this question. It's not only for him, for all of us, Especially at the time when a person is put into this kind of a difficulty, he loses his intelligence, he doesn't know, he becomes bewildered. Especially when one is separated from dear ones, that's natural because his mind is kind of in a state of shock, of separation. So therefore they need someone just like Arjuna, he was going to lose all his relatives and he was in a state of shock and Krishna had to educate him. Of course, the same instruction is given by the devotees who are familiar with the science. If you can take advantage of their association, then you also can benefit. Yes. So you try to associate with devotees and try to learn how to help the departed soul, whoever it may be. Yes. Hello. Any other questions? But how the soul is liberated by mixing the action in the soul's body, but the soul is different to the soul, Prabhu. Can you please explain this mechanism works? See, when the ashes touches the Ganga water, that is explained in that story of Sagar Maharaj. His sons were all burnt to ashes by Kapila when they tried to attack him. So although the ashes are all burned, then the condition was that if Ganga can touch these ashes, then that will liberate the soul. Because the soul is put into another body and is staying there. So if this activity is done, then that soul will be liberated from that position and he will go back. So this is how, the complexity of this situation is inconceivable how all this works. Because this is the power of God, Krishna. So when the river Ganga came down by the Bhagirath's effort, then the Ganga was brought to this place where all his departed, folks, were there. I think great grandfather or something, or relatives, Then the water touched their ashes, and then that's it. He went back to God. So this is proof. And there's nothing to think that is not wonderful, because Krishna's water, this celestial water, is coming from the spiritual world, and definitely it is very, very powerful. So the soul may be put into different position, just like when we do our ceremony, we are offering food to the departed soul, the picture or something we are offering. So how is the prasadam going to the soul? The soul may be trapped in a fish body or bird body or what body? Correct? So how does the soul will get the prasadam? If it's trapped in a fish body or something. So there are system, in the Vedic system, there are these demigods who are in charge of delivering this food to the departed soul. So they will collect this food that you're offering to that departed soul, and this demigod, their job is to deliver them to that soul wherever, in whichever body is, just like you have your postal system where you put your name and address. of a person you want to send some item, so that postman then delivers that through the postal network. Similarly, Krishna has got another network that if you offer this food, and then it goes by his network to that souls, and that soul, when he takes that remnant, he also get delivered. So this is a science, you know. You understand?
Yes.
Hmm. So the whole idea is to save the soul. That's why Krishna has given the Ganga, has given the devotees, has given the super soul. I mean, he's sitting in the heart of everybody. What is the purpose of all this activity? It is somehow or other to deliver the conditioned soul back to his original consciousness. Yes?
Yes.
Hmm? Elaborate arrangement. When the
Yeah.
soul passes away, it takes another birth, and that's why Krishna said, after many, many births, he understands that I am all in all, and such a person is great and rare soul, because that concludes his material life. You understand? So this complex arrangement is arranged by the Lord to deliver the conditioned soul, because some or other he has fallen. He has fallen into this Maya, because he has fallen into Maya, he cannot understand. See? See? This is the point. Because he's stuck with Maya. The conditioned soul cannot revive his Krishna consciousness by his own effort. But out of curseless mercy, Lord Krishna has given this Vedic literature and supplement the Puranas. So in other words, the conditioned soul needs, some kind of an external personality or, source to deliver him. So Krishna has to make that arrangement. Man, so the soul has to be repenting and crying. Then Krishna will come and help. Then it is the duty of the devotees also. The devotee's duty is to do this supreme welfare. That's why Krishna says, anyone who does this preaching activity is very dear to me. Because that is compassion to take people out of this entangled mess, That's why this is considered the highest activity, welfare activity. What is that? The highest welfare activity is to help the conditioned souls to become Krishna conscious. That makes Krishna very happy, Yes. And nobody can go back if you don't do this kind of activities. You see? It says here, this Vaikuntha is not simply you chant and you go back, You must also learn how to help the other conditioned souls. We are not interested in helping them. That is going to be very difficult. Hmm? It's not that I just do my thing and everything will be okay, Hmm?
No.
It says here in this verse, you can see. So you must develop this compassion. The self-effulgent Vaikuntha planet, by whose illumination alone all the illuminating planets within the material will give off reflected light, cannot be reached by those who are not merciful to other living entities. Only persons who have constantly engaged in welfare activities for other living entities can reach the Vaikuntha planet. You see that?
Yes.
Huh? You understand? That's why we should all help preach. The Prabhupada wanted. With one person's effort, you see how we all are becoming devotees. Our duty now to help others. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Yare Dekha Tare Kaha Krishna Upadesh. Whoever you meet, you speak about Krishna. Their whole life will change. Understand? If we don't want to do this, it's going to be difficult for us. Yes?
Yes.
You follow?
Yes, I'm ready.
So you have to learn how to do this, associate with devotees. We have temples all over now. You understand? So this is our duty. Do the highest welfare, either by preaching or by our money or by our intelligence or by, there's 4 ways you can do that. Let's explain. Prabhupada always quotes this verse in the Bhagavatam. That 4 ways you can do welfare work. Yes. Give me a minute. I just said that was out there. Spiritual life means, how we can, benefit others. Because it's a thankless task, but that's how Krishna is, can be pleased. Krishna like to see, we are helping others. So you see here, it's the duty of every living being to perform welfare activities for the benefit of others with his life, wealth, intelligence, and words. So if you can do it with your life, that's the best. If you cannot, then with your wealth, and without that, at least with your intelligence. And if you have no intelligence, then at least, with your words. So try to understand. This is very important. That's our duty, actually.
Can you elaborate on intelligence, bro? How?
There are
Yeah.
two kinds of general activities, prayers, of activities which are ultimately beneficial and auspicious, and prayers, those which are immediately beneficial and auspicious. For example, children are found of playing. They do not want to go to school to receive an education. And they think that to play all day and night and to enjoy with their friends is the ultimate aim of life. Even in the traditional life of Lord Krishna, we find that when he was a child, he was fond of playing with his friends of the same age, the cowboys. He would not even go home to take his dinner. Mother Yasoda would have to come out to induce him to come out, to come home. This is a child's nature to play, to engage all day and night in playing, not caring even for his health and other important concern. This is an example of prayers or immediate beneficial activities. But there are also shreyas, the activities which are ultimately auspicious. According to Vedic civilization, a human being must be God conscious. He should understand what God is and what is the material world is, who he is, and what their relationships are. This is called Shreya, or ultimate auspicious activity. This verse, the Srimad Bhagavatam 10:20-35, said that one should be interested in Shreyas to achieve the ultimate goal of Shreyas, or good fortune. One should engage everything, including his wife, his life, wealth, and worth, not only for himself but for others also. However, unless one is interested in Shreyas, his own life, he cannot preach of Shreyas, the benefit of others. So the verse is cited by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, applies to human beings, not to animals, as indicated in the previous verse by the word Manusya Janma. These injunctions are for human beings. Unfortunately, human beings, although they have the bodies of man, are becoming less than animals in their behavior. This is the fault of modern education. Modern educators do not know the aim of human life. They simply concerned how to develop the economic condition of their countries, of the human society. This is also necessary. The Vedic civilization consider all aspects of human life, including dharma, religion, artha, economic development, karma, sanctification, and moksha, liberation. But humanity's first concern should be religion. To be religious, one must abide by the orders of God. But unfortunately, people in this age have rejected religion and they are busy in economic development. Therefore, they will adopt any means to get money for economic development. One does not need to get money by hook or by crook. One needs only sufficient money to maintain his body and soul. However, because of modern economic development is going on with no religious background, people have become lusty, greedy, and mad after money. They are simply developing qualities of rajas, passion, and tamas, ignorance, neglecting the other quality of nature, sattva gun, and the Brahminical qualification. Therefore, the entire society is in chaos. Bhagavatam says that the duty of an advanced human being is to act in such a way as to facilitate human society's attainment of the ultimate goal of life. There is a similar verse in the Vishnu Puranam, which is next quoted in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So this is another same thing. By his work, thoughts and words, an intelligent man must perform actions which will be beneficial for all living entities in this life and the next. So this is the another verse, same thing. So it's our duty to perform our activities in this manner. So he asked the question, how by intelligence we can serve. Firstly, we must try to get spiritual intelligence. Material intelligence is useless because material intelligence will only teach you how to get money, how to enjoy your senses. That intelligence is the intelligence of the animals, as Prabhupada explained in the purport. So once you get how to get spiritual intelligence, Krishna explained in the Bhagavad Gita, for those people who are surrendered to me, I give the intelligence in which you can come to me. So that's what the intelligence we are talking about,
Okay.
Hello, you understand? Tesham satata yuktanam bhajanti pritipurvakam dadami buddhiyogam. This is the intelligence we are talking about.
Yes.
To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with the love, I give the understanding. This is the intelligence by which they can come to me. So if you can get that spiritual intelligence, then that you should give. Just like Prabhupada is writing so many books and all, that's all basically is realization from Krishna. Yes?
Yeah.
So that intelligence we need, Material intelligence is useless anyway. What's the point of that intelligence? You understand?
Yes, nothing. As good as animal.
Yes.
Animals.
That's all you can. Material intelligence is for eating, sleeping, mating, defending. But that will not help, You teach someone how to eat, sleep, and mate and defend. Is that a good thing?
No.
Tell me. If anyone who teaches, is explained here in this verse here. I can see here in this verse. If a person is teaching someone to do this kind of thing, then he's, doing a greatest disservice,
Sorry, bro. Disservice you are telling, bro.
What?
You are telling disservice, bro.
I'm telling what? See here, this is material intelligence. This is the, sorry. So this is the problem, material intelligence. A materialistic so-called guru instructs his materialistic disciple about economic development, sense gratification. And because of such instruction, the foolish disciple continue in material existence of ignorance. But your Lordship gives knowledge that is eternal, and the intelligent person receiving such knowledge is quickly situated in the original constitutional position. You understand? This verse sums up about your intelligence. You understand this?
Yes. Yeah, difference between material intelligence and
Yes.
spiritual intelligence.
Yes. You get material intelligence, you continue in your material life. Never ends.
Again thrown into the existence of ignorance.
Yes. Whereas if you get spiritual intelligence by spiritual master, then you're considered as fortunate.
Yes.
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 All right. So any other last questions before we wrap up this? Thank you very much for your kind association. Sorry to have offended any one of you.
No, it's our fortune.
So hope to see you again next week by Krishna's mercy.
Yes.
Thank you again. All of you. Prabhupada, Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Thank you, everyone.
Jai Shri Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. All glories to Prabhu. Please explain.